So the biggest problem with ADHD for a lot of people, two of the biggest problems, is avoidance and procrastination. And the reason for this is because most people that have ADHD grew up in an environment where what caused them to develop the ADHD, usually, I mean, you can say there's a partial genetic component there, but usually what's caused people to develop ADHD is being in a very toxic, stressful environment when they were a child. These cicadas are super loud. When they were a child, and it taught them to distract from what is stressful in the situation. So what happens is they're in this stressful situation and their brain has learned to disengage. It's learned to disengage. It's learned to jump to one thing. But if they really try to, if they just come from somebody has had severe ADHD their entire life, if you sit there and you go into the task and you keep going, once the stressfulness of it starts overwhelming you and you just keep going and you're just writing out the problems, you're just doing stuff, you're just going at it, you feel like you're not comprehending things at first. Eventually you start to. Everyone's like that. What happens is people with ADHD, they don't understand that other people are like that, and it stresses them, but they get stressed and they start jumping around. They start jumping in another direction. They start going, oh, whatever. When somebody is really stressed with ADHD, they will literally get to the point where they're thinking about moving to a different city, a different country, and they actually might, because they are so stressed in the environment they are in. And that's what they've learned. They've learned to, in order to deal with that stress in that environment, because when they were a little kid, when they were an infant, little child and toddler, their brains started developing these ways to distract, to get away from that stress of that situation. They couldn't walk out, they couldn't face it up front, so the brain learned to distract.